Welcome to the Fruitful Intuition blogcast. I am Derek, your host. I believe in trusting God in the most adverse of circumstances. I believe in showing mercy to people and being more interested in helping them than the reason for their hurt. And I believe in wisdom, sharing your knowledge, because information is power only when it's shared. Right now, I'm kind of doing something that I've never done before. I'm just kind of brainstorming out loud and doing it in a video to kind of take what I just written out on the board and kind of talking through it to get it further into my heart. I like calling it massaging the truth until it becomes usable. So with that, there's a guy I follow, Philippe Van Hoot, who has he's a productivity coach. He told me consume less, do more. It's kind of my mantra for the year of 2019. Consume less, do more. It's kind of my version of doing that, of taking what I consume, but really just applying what I've already consumed and not trying to add more to it. Let's start with that. So I'm a big fan of Patrick Lencioni's work. It's The Advantage. He kind of has four obsessions. One is building trust on a team, and then creating clarity, communicating clarity, and then reinforcing clarity. So those four things are what make a team work. But really building trust on a team begins with building trust with yourself by keeping commitment to yourself. I took his framework and kind of just used it as a self-reflection tool for myself to become a better leader. The first thing in his motto on building trust as a team is one, focus on building and maintaining trust. The next is master conflict. Conflict isn't a bad thing. It's really not that we should avoid conflict in our team. It's really that we should get to a point where we can have healthy, productive conflict. It's to have more and better conflict, not less conflict or no conflict at all. That's actually a sign of an unhealthy team. Next, achieve commitment. For me, I'm someone that tends to take really ownership and responsibility, which is why I want to be a leader, but it's not enough. I have to be a leader that creates other leaders. So I have to get really good at communicating what commitments I need other people to take on, because I can't do it all by myself. Embracing accountability. That's really about just checking in with people and providing the support they need, and either helping them grow more in their strengths, and really curtail their weaknesses and figure out how to complement each other as a team, and then focus on results. That's really about having a compelling vision and scoreboard to say this is what progress looks like, this is what progress doesn't look like. So I started this thing out with what's my part? What's my part currently in this current tensions I'm feeling on a team where communication has been poor, and not just on my the team organization I'm with, but it's poor communication and it's just some poor emotions I think are feelings that are undealt with. And so what's my part in using this framework and building that trust and going back to the basics? For me, there's this book called what's it called? It's about communication, high stakes communication. I can't think of the name of it, but it starts with dealing with yourself, getting my story right, and that's really it for me. That's dealing with my fears, dealing with my weaknesses, and dealing with my part. Trying to really sit myself, and say what's my part in what's causing the lack of communication and dysfunction of the team. And for me, it was I fear making communications or conflict worse, so I've been avoiding. Dave Ramsey said there's no such thing, or a passive leader is an oxymoron. You know what I mean? You can't be both. I feel tired. I'm in physical pain. I feel discouraged. That's where I'm at. So I'm trying to come from a place of that to build trust. But I don't think my team's aware, and I'm not sure if I've communicated that and done the work to deal with that. I feel it's my responsibility to do my part to build trust with myself and with my team. So confidence is like, how do I get confidence in myself and in my team, because I have not been feeling confident. I feel like it's my responsibility to master conflict, to expect resolution and resolve from conflict instead of what my fear is up here, is to have communication or conflict result from make communication worse or conflict worse as a result of me trying to apply my strengths to the situation. Number three is achieving commitment. That's delegation and ownership. That's really telling what needs to be done, giving it to someone and giving them a deadline, and then letting them hold themselves accountable to what they said they would do. Three, embracing accountability. One thing I don't do good with is equipping and checking in. Even for myself, one reason why I am tired, I am in pain, I am discouraged, is that I'm not using my own support system. So I'm trying to do for others what I'm not even doing for myself. And to help my team through this, I'm going to have to really step out in faith and do that in my prayer life. So the relationships I already cultivated. 5, focus on results, outcome focused. Right now, I'm more problem focused and pain focused and discouraged focused than results focused and focusing on what is working on our team. Then after I did that, I jumped over here and I said, okay, if that's true, what's the unhelpful behaviors that recently have contributed to me being a detractor from building trust in my team? And when I thought about that, what came up for me for unhelpful behaviors was anger. I mean, I've been having anger outbursts. People that know me, it's been something that's been happening to me, and it's kind of an indicator to me on one hand that something's wrong with my own heart, my own life, that I don't even fully understand. But I know it's an indicator that I'm not in a healthy place spiritually and emotionally. Carelessness, I see that happening. I'm coming in later. I'm being less attention to detail, and I'm kind of just being irresponsible. You know what I mean? That's really not. That's a core value of mine, and for me to be irresponsible shows that, again, something is unhealthy in me. Volatile agreements. There's been discussion as a leader. I'm supposed to model the behavior I want for my team, but I've been breaking my own behavior. I've been hypocritical in not obeying contracts with our social media rep. In timeliness, I talked about being late and not only showing up to work late, but also with tasks and follow through on certain things. I've let it fall through the cracks more than I care to admit. And then lack of taking initiative. Because I've been feeling tired, in pain, and discouraged, it's kind of like this depression that, it's hard to be proactive when you have a resistance that you got to fight through. Passive leadership. That's my part. Unhealthy behaviors has been passive leadership, passive energy, and I don't know what that's supposed to be, but I bet it was good, whatever it was supposed to be. Leadership, energy, influence is what I'm supposed to say. Passive. My handwriting is terrible, isn't it? But it's all good. I love me. I know me, and I got good strengths. And handwriting might not be my strength, but my ideas and what I bring to the table is a strength. Past leadership for me, neglecting physical, emotional needs of myself and my team. Past leadership, delegating responsibility to gain and maintain the trust of the team. That I'm taking too much ownership of things, and I'm not having faith or being intentional about building trust and establishing trust. One, by getting myself healthy and doing that to come from a place of confidence, and two, by really doing the work of leveraging these principles of if I do the work of building trust and communicating that I want that, even when I don't feel like it, because it's necessary, that I will get the results, and trusting that the results will not be negative, because I do expect negative. I don't do it because I think it's going to be more hurt and harm than benefit and progress. Anyway, asking for help. I think it's funny. I'm a social work major in school, and social work is the profession of helping, but I struggle with receiving help. And one thing I'm a believer that God is trying to teach me is that, I'm not going to allow you to mature to another level until you really get this in check, because you won't be effective. So I need to get help to have people as a sounding board, which I did that with one of my teammates recently on where I'm kind of at with some stuff that I'm dealing with. I need help simplifying goals. I'm very complex and can get in my own way and doing something more nimble, simple, and agile. That there's an agile way to accomplish what I'm trying to do. And if I bring others in and show them my thought process, I can ask them how to do it in an agile way, and then just go about doing it that way versus my tendency to be more complex. Which you can just see. This is an example of how I think. You know what I mean? And not most people are not going to do this. You know what I mean? And that means that they have definitely have a more simple approach to how to work through challenges. Asking for help. I don't know. Underthinking and overdoing. Underthinking and overdoing. That kind of ties together in that simplifying goals. That I can overthink something, and that's a gift of mine. I think that's one thing that's not a bad thing for me. I need time to let ideas percolate. That's something I need in my life. So overthinking isn't a problem, but it becomes a problem when it isn't contrasted by doing, and that's something I'm aware of, that my doing is way out of contrast with my thinking right now, and I need to get that in shape. And physical fitness from my diet and exercise that isn't happening, also is contributing to the dysfunction of my team. So my part is being aware of that and putting measures in place to deal with that. From there, I said I need to do less of the helpful behaviors, but then what is it that I need to be doing? What's the helpful behaviors to right now that I can be doing that's practical? So I need to communicate boundaries daily and weekly with myself and my team and just in my life, and I need to keep commitments. There's some commitments I've been breaking. I talked about showing up late and violating contracts on the team. I need to keep those commitments because I need to be modeling the trust I want to build and maintain. Two, the master conflict. To master conflict, I need to have healthy, productive disagreement. Healthy, productive disagreement, as well as healthy, productive agreement. You know what I mean? Where I acknowledge my part while I talk about the white elephant in the room, while I shoot sacred cows in an appropriate way. But I use myself and my mentors to communicate it well in a way that helps the team not implode, but really strengthen. And right now, I'm aware it's on a downward spiral and not on a upward spiral. Three, embrace non-stop weekly tactical meetings, or embrace non-standard weekly tactical meetings. One thing that's been a challenge for my leadership is I like to meet in person at a predictable interval. You know, one part is because I've been in 12-step recovery with a ministry called Celebrate Recovery, and I've seen the benefits of meeting face to face. But we live in 2019, all right, 19. So I got to get used to doing those type of things, if not with a group, one-on-one with each individual, and not think it's going to take 2 hours, but saying, hey, I want to just run through something with you real quick of some of the tasks and commitments you had, trying to get a gauge of where you're at with the organization and what's good, what's bad, and how can we get it better. And I need to be following up, one, with my president, but also with my team members, and not relying so heavily on my president. It's my responsibility to do my part. That's using phone calls, because I originally wrote send a text message and all that first, but really make a phone call first, then send a text or a voice message, then send an email. And then one thing I need to do is do both. I need to both make the phone call and send the text, or make the phone call and see the email, and the text saying that I sent the email. And that's something that I need to improve on. I need to practice and get really good at to really achieve commitment. That I need to build buy-in by doing that well. Number four is how do I embrace accountability? Embrace accountability. I need to express that I'm here to help. I'm here to encourage. I'm here to listen, and I'm here to seek solutions. I'm not necessarily going to do it for you, but I am willing to hear you out and work together to co-create a solution that you can go keep the monkey in your back and know that I have faith in you. And really, I call that extending trust. I got that from the book Speed of Trust. And the last one is focus on results. Even though the goal is building trust, is building trust on what's our outcome. And right now, it's doing a major project together and getting that done, but also as a team, performing in school and everybody progressing in school, as well as not only a part of success is not only getting a project done, it's becoming a team that trusts one another, that has mastered conflict, that has achieved commitment, embraced accountability, and focus on results. So it's the both end of not only getting the outcome, but becoming the people that are able to do these behaviors individually that are helpful. And I think that's going to be achieved. And it's my responsibility to create a compelling scoreboard for my team that's simple, it's super simple enough for them to follow and to see that we're making progress, and super accessible, and that they see it at least 21 times, because they're really not going to sink in until I communicate it and they see it 21 times. And the purpose of it is for unity on the team, to show progress on the team, and to build trust on the team, that we communicate and we can handle conflict well. Kind of going through that team forming of coming together, forming, storming, norming, performing, and then norming, I think, is at the end, and then this end of endings or something like that. So anyway, that's something I wanted to do to kind of think through what goes on in my mind when I'm being me. I'm a INFJ personality, Myers-Briggs. That's a big discovery for me. But I'm also a person of faith, which is something that I hold dear to my heart. And it's both having these intellectual understandings, but also acting in faith, which means having an expectancy for God to be the one that causes these things to be successful, and not for me to put so much control on my part, on what I can control. I can only control myself. I can't control others, and I can't control the outcome. But I can trust God with the outcome, and that I'm gonna grow and be faithful to Him and bring Him glory, and that He's gonna take care of the rest. There's a great line that Andy Stanley says in this regard. Obey God, no matter what, and no matter what, God's going to take care of the rest. So something like that. I can't say it right, but you get the idea. Anyway, I'm Derek Butler from the Fruitful Intuition blog class, where I believe in trusting God in the most adverse circumstances. I believe in helping people and being focused on helping them heal from whatever they're hurting from, then the reasons that they caused the hurt. And I believe in sharing your wisdom, your understanding, and your knowledge with others, and to help you better understand it and apply it, as well as to be someone that helps them better understand and grow in their ability to apply truths that help them become healthy. So that's what I got, and I'm out. Deuces.